Hello and welcome to the DJ Force 10 in Conversation podcast, episode 186. And my very special guest on today's show is Simone Simons from the band Epica. They are about to release a brand new album called Omega via Nuclear Blast. And I was fortunate enough to have them on my show, which is awesome. And the album, absolutely amazing. Loving it. And thank you for everyone that's been listening and all that kind of good stuff. The Love and Death interview that I had on the last episode went down very well. Thank you for the feedback and all whatnot. Looking forward to that album. That's coming out in a week or so. And don't forget, they got that live stream on the album release day. It is loveanddeath.veeps. That's VEEPS.com. And you get to watch a live stream. It's active for 48 hours after the live event because it goes live at about 1 o'clock in the morning our time. This UK time. But obviously you can work that out for the rest of the world. But it's only $15 to watch it as well. And the album is great. And I'm sure the live show is going to be great as well. Yeah, this month, jam-packed full of podcasts. Like I said, I've sort of upped it to twice a week just for this month. We kicked things off with Love and Death, which is awesome. But I've also got a couple more coming up, which is, let's have a look. I'm looking at my sheets of paper now. I have a new band called Northman coming up, Industrial, if you enjoy that. We've got a fantastic album due out very soon as well. Them Bloody Kids, brand new band on the block. Well, I say brand new, they've been around for a few years. But they got brand new album coming out. Which is awesome. And also Biff Byford from Saxon, the mighty Saxon. It's going to be amazing. And yeah, DZ Death Rays are the other one as well. A fantastic band out of Australia. And loads of them coming up this month. And I've just recorded one with Seething Akira, which will be completing a hat trick of appearances on this show. It's the first time any band's done that, which is awesome. And the chat literally just got off the line just now, and it was much fun. Much fun was had. So I hope you guys enjoy it. It's also a video as well, so it's going to go up on the YouTube channel. And thank you for those who've been watching my YouTube channel, actually, especially with the Love and Death interview. That was my second ever sort of like on-camera interview that I've done for the podcast. The first one was with Mike and Ming of Comic Book Men last year, and now I've got the sort of confident with the setup I've got here to do these interviews via that format. And I've got more coming up as well. Seething Akira, like I mentioned, Northman as well. That was a spooky one, so that was good. And loads more coming up. Please rate, please review, please subscribe, please share, spread it out to everyone. That would be absolutely awesome if you can. And big love to every single one of you. But anyway, you're here to hear you are here to listen to Simone Simons of Epica. Enjoy. So I'd like to welcome Simone to my show today. She is from the band Epica. Welcome, Simone.
Thank you. And good day.
Yeah. Yes, good morning. It's nice and early here. It's all good, but it's very cold. How are you today?
I'm doing great, yeah. It's the last day of the working week, so to speak.
Oh, fantastic.
And homeschooling as well.
Yes.
Doing everything at the same time. But today's a special day because we just released our third single.
Oh, fantastic. Excellent. So. I'm loving the album. I've been privy to listening to it, and it's absolutely fantastic. We'll go into that in a moment. So how is because we don't get too much like world news because it's kind of dominated by other countries, but how is the sort of like COVID situation in Holland at the moment?
There's a lockdown. There's how do you say evening? We call it an evening clock. I don't know what's the official name.
Curfew.
In English. Curfew. There you go. Yeah, I should have known that with live shows, but that was another life. It feels like
yep.
that we had live shows. But I live in Germany actually since
Oh,
many
okay.
years, and in Germany it's pretty severe or pretty strict as well. We've had the curfew since a while now, limitations to people visiting, contact to other people.
Yeah.
All shops are closed with the exception of the absolute necessary.
Yeah.
So and we're hanging in there. Schools are closed as well. The homeschooling situation is sometimes a good day, sometimes not.
Yep.
And overall, we're just missing the concerts very much.
Yeah, no, definitely. And we're the same here in England. We're in the full lockdown. Have been since pretty much the new year again for like the third time. But yeah, I've got 3 of my own kids, and they're all homeschooling. Wow. And one of them's doing their like mock exams at the moment as well. She's in like second year of college, and yeah, she's doing the test from home, which is crazy.
Oh wow!
So we're having to be very quiet and be very sparing with the old internet connection and whatnot, which is being shared between 5 of us. So it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But anyway, on some more sort of like positive things. We're here obviously to talk about your music.
Yes.
And you're going to release an album called Omega. It's coming out on February the 26th. Which just happens to be my birthday, which is good.
That's a good present for yourself.
Oh, no, totally. I got it early as well, which is great. Which is always welcomed. But no, I mean, you've released a couple of singles already. Like, you're going to release one today. Which one was released today?
It's our ballad. It's called Rivers.
Rivers, yes. Cool.
Yes.
Yeah, and before that, it was Abyss of Time, which you did an acoustic version of as well.
Yes, and Freedom. That was our second single, and then we had the acoustic version. We called it Abyss O Time because it has this Irish touch to it, and a lot of Irish last names are with O'Brien, and so that's why we gave it a little new title.
Yeah, and the acoustic version is very good. It wasn't what I expected.
Thank you.
Because normally when you say acoustic version, you think stripped down acoustic guitar, but this was full on acoustic, if that makes sense. But it's very good. That's
how we like it. We always, for us to just do an acoustic version with guitar and piano, that would be the easy way out.
Yeah.
So we added some extras, and it's always so much fun to do this. After a long and serious period of recording, something I am actually not so fond of, being in a studio. I am a live musician,
Yeah.
And this gives it a little bit more the feeling of having a live show.
Oh, totally. Yeah. No, it's a fantastic version. One of my favourite tracks actually was Freedom, Wolves Within. The whole album is I was trying to think of words to describe it, but I'm just going to say it's massive.
Thank you.
It is of huge scale, and we've been a fan. I say we, my family, have been a fan of you guys for a while. I've got 3 girls, and they absolutely love it because it's having that kind of that female touch on the metal genre, which I kind of exposed them to. I'll be guilty of that, being in the job that I'm in, or the hobby that I'm in, and I'm a DJ, rock DJ, and all that kind of stuff. So I'm listening to a lot of music all the time, and they're like latching on to a lot of female-driven rock music right now. So like hearing your guys' stuff, it was the first time they've heard that kind of like operatic symphonic style. If you will, because I know there are a few bands out there that do that, but you were the first that really kind of captured them on that front, because they hadn't heard that kind of mix of styles, and they're getting to that age now where they're kind of identifying, they're 11, 13 and 17, so they're good.
Well, you got 3 teenage girls, or one is a preteen.
One is preteen, one's just gone teen, and the other one's full-on teenager, almost adult.
Then you're outnumbered.
Yeah, totally. Even my dog is female as well, so I am outnumbered. But I've got my little like man cave, if you will, that I'm in right now. That's actually very cold because it's frosty outside. So, but I've got the heating on, so hopefully it'll warm up in a minute. But but yeah, I'm totally outnumbered. But they absolutely love it. That like my wife, like she has it on because she has the office in the house. She has like a music on rotation, and you guys pop up on there quite often.
Yeah, that's nice to hear.
But I haven't played them the new album yet. I was going to save it so they can So they
for
can,
on your birthday, when you have your birthday party, you can play Epica real loud.
Exactly. We're gonna have a lockdown party, so we'll do that definitely. So what can you tell people about the album that hasn't already been kind of like put out there with the singles? Because I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but there are some absolutely fantastic tracks on there.
It's our 8th studio album, and it was created after we took a little break from touring, which we've never done before. We've always been like a very productive touring CD writing machine.
Yeah.
And so we had a little break, which was great for us to write the biography. We have a book called The Essence of Epica.
Cool.
And that kind of made us do a little reset of how we want to change things, how we want to reinvent ourselves. And with full batteries, like totally motivated, we started the writing and recording of Omega. And I think the lyrics and the music as well, it's our most mature work yet.
Yeah.
Up to date, it's very profound. It is a very dynamic, diverse album that shows all the strengths of Epica. And lyric wise, it's very profound. It's spiritual. I think it's a very, very well balanced album that contains still some kind of a couple of little surprises here and there, but also really has the old familiar Epica sound, but more mature.
Yeah. Though there's a definite jump in something in there, like you're saying, like the sort of maturity of the band, because obviously, like you say, you took that 5-year break, if you will, and kind of reassessed, reset, if you will, and there is a definite there is a definite change in there, and it's a change for the better. It's not anything that is out of the ordinary, if that makes sense for sort of any kind of like old school fans. But it's definitely, I mean, it's a huge album, like from start to finish. I've just like I've had it on like kind of rotating, and it's just an adventure, like listening to it. I don't know if that was your sort of aim with it, but it kind of does conjure up a lot of like, it kind of distracts me from my work, which is great. So
it's definitely not an album to listen to in the background. It definitely draws your attention and sucks you into the Epica universe, so to speak. But that's, of course, with each record a little bit our intention, to grasp the attention of the audience, and to have it, that it's like a musical journey from start to finish.
Yeah. And
that's also how we come up with the track listing, there are, of course, with the story of the lyrics, we'll get into that a little bit, but we have the start and like the song on number 8, and then we have the ending, of course, the beginning Alpha, the end Omega. So it's meant to be like a journey, musically and lyrically, but it's not a concept album. But Epica is known for always diving into the same kind of subjects when it comes to the lyrics, and we're just super proud of it. And it's such a shame that we're in this current situation where you normally would be on tour, celebrating music, celebrating life, and now we're all like confined to our homes and our own stereo sounds.
yes, indeed. But what have you guys got anything planned around the release to sort of like coincide with it? You doing anything, like I know a lot of bands are doing like online concerts. Obviously there's a sort of bigger sort of production side of it behind it, but have you guys got anything planned along those lines, or are you guys doing anything like live Q&As or acoustic events or anything like that?
The problem is for us, we are in a lockdown, so we can't get together at the moment.
Okay.
And the lockdown here in Germany is going to be until middle of February. And you know what that means. It might be prolonged as well, extended. And originally we would have a tour scheduled in March, which we had to postpone once more to January 2022.
Yeah.
That's a lot of twos.
It
2022. Okay, and so for us getting together, it's a little bit difficult, especially the ones that have kids. We just welcomed the 4th Epica Junior.
Yes.
Our guitarist Isaac is now a father since the 13th of January. So that means, we got to stay home, take care of the kids as well. Everything is a little bit of struggle.
Yeah.
But like you say, I think a live Q&A would be really nice. I've been just doing some a cappella singing here and there. I think I might do that as well. I might just pick out a couple of songs and just go live.
Yeah.
At least on the release day tonight, because the third single is released, I'll probably go live as well, just to stay in touch with the fans. They appreciate these little gestures, and it's just nice to hear feedback, what everybody thinks.
Yeah.
And these are always milestones in the career of a band, and it feels a little bit like you're giving away something that you cannot fully, celebrate or fully show your respect to, in a way, with the live shows. And these songs are written also in the back of our mind, not just to be on an album, but to also be good live songs. That's something we found very important when we were working on the structure of the songs. So these songs need to be played live one way or another. We will search for a solution. We'll make it happen someday. But we're a little bit restricted. And also the fact I live in Germany. Mark lives in Sicily.
Okay.
Isaac in Belgium, and the other guys in the Netherlands. So for us to get together normally is already a lot of planning, but now with 4 different countries with different COVID rules, it's a challenge.
that's definitely a challenge. I didn't realize you guys were so kind of like far apart. Obviously you're quite close in the world scheme of things, but getting together and having the different country rules and stuff, that's going to be a bit of a pain. But that's a shame, because I do want to hear these songs live, and like you say, you announced a tour for 2022. You're one of the first bands I think I've seen actually announce a tour that far ahead, sort of like negating this year completely, because they've just cancelled one of our biggest festivals in England, which is an absolute travesty. And I think I'm pretty sure like the big sort of rock festivals and stuff are going to follow now. But I'm trying to remain positive throughout all this. But no,
positive but realistic, of course. One day everything will get back to having festivals. Last year was so weird to me to have it was my first summer ever since I'm a musician that I didn't have any festivals. It was weird.
Yeah.
I mean, it felt so incomplete. I love festivals because of the ambience. I love to watch other bands, see my friends in the music scene. It's always such a great season, I think. And that's of course something I miss as well. But I'm also very realistic about this upcoming summer. And at the beginning of the pandemic, I thought, our tour, in 2020, October, it's gonna happen, and we're safe. But as time went on, I became more worried, and I thought, no, this is going to take a while. And I thought now it was quite brave from all the festival organizers, promoters, to book festivals or book bands for this summer. I think it's still too soon.
Yeah,
I wish it's all going to happen, and I'm like so stoked to be back on stage. But you have to be realistic in order to not be disappointed again. You know what I mean? I'm not pessimistic. I'm realistic.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's coming. Like, yes, last year was difficult to come to terms with a lot of things because, like I say, I'm on the performance side. I'm a DJ, and all the clubs got closed. All the places that I would normally be got closed, and eventually I accepted that. Like a lot of like musician friends that I have, a lot of them have accepted the fact that live shows are not coming back for a little while. So they're trying to sort of like do other things to sort of keep their fans occupied, keep people occupied at home. I'm doing podcasts. That's my kind of thing, to kind of, give someone a moment of kind of like break from all the stuff going on around them, so they can listen to bands that they love, or discover new bands through the conversations that we have. And but like now I'm just kind of realistic. I'm doing a lot of online events now and stuff, so it's kind of like scratching that itch to a certain degree. It's not the same, but it's what we've got. So I do like a virtual club night for people, so people join a Twitch channel and a Zoom chat, and they dance along to the songs that I'm playing in my studio here. So It's kind of the same, but I'm not in a sort of stinky club anywhere. So,
do you have already some clubs that are shut down, like that just can't make it through the crisis?
Yeah, some of them have. None of them that I would be part of, unfortunately. But it's there are some venues that are not going to open again, or. Which is a crying shame, because we're trying to sort of we have this kind of adopt a venue thing going on as well, so you can kind of like make donations, stuff like that, to the venue to try and keep their sort of like running costs going and stuff like that, which is a fantastic movement, but I don't think it's going to get enough for some venues to sort of remain open, because a lot of them are on kind of like a knife edge budget anyway, and then having this completely cut from them, without much warning. Initially, it was kind of like, we're just going to close them now. It's like, and they had all these events get cancelled. Obviously, you guys had tours cancelled, and all that kind of stuff. So it's going to be difficult to see what comes out the other end on that front. But hopefully, a lot of them will get there, because a lot of them, they hold memories for people having good nights. So hopefully, they're going to sort of work with that and get that kind of adopt a venue, type thing going. So. It
would be such a shame for venues to close, but it's a possibility.
Yes,
I mean, even
definitely.
the bigger venues in the Netherlands, they're struggling. So that's another thing. Once we can start to play, which venues are still out there, and which bookers, which bands are still there. I mean, it's such an uncertain and sad time in a way, but. The positive thing, we have a new album coming out, and I think in difficult times, music is just the emotion enhancer, and it can totally lift you up. And I think that's definitely something this album can do for a lot of people. It has done that for me. I mean, music is my therapy, and that should hopefully be a little beacon of light in this weird times.
Yes, definitely. And your album is it's primed for that. Absolutely primed for that, so I can implore anyone to go get it. It's coming out on all different formats as well. We should mention, obviously, you got all the streaming platforms and stuff like that. There's going to be a CD. There's going to be multiple vinyl releases, I believe.
Yes.
You've got 12 different vinyl releases, I believe.
I think all the colors of the rainbow. I saw them passing by earlier. They're available now for pre-order.
Fantastic.
I like that. I mean, I have all the vinyls from Epica still wrapped in cellophane, because I have no option to actually play them. For me, they are just like a collector for my work. But I love that that's like making a comeback, and that the metal scene is. Most of them are collectors, and they love to get their hands on physical copies. That's why we pay so much love and attention to the creation of many different versions of the CD. Like we also have an earbook, and that's a great thing about the metal scene. They're super loyal, they're collectors, and they respect musicians.
Yeah, no, totally. And I'm a vinyl junkie myself, so it's on my list. To get on that front, but and I do have the means to play it as well, so I do open the cellophane and do actually play it and stuff. So I mean I'm an old school DJ, so it's kind of, I've got my turntables next to me right now, I love vinyl. It's one of those things I just love, not just like the fact that the artwork is huge and it looks like a piece of art at that point, but the fact that you've got the physical music etched into this vinyl, if you will. And to me, it just feels like you've got a piece of the music, as opposed to an MP3, which I don't mind, because that makes my life a lot easier when walking to clubs and stuff, because I can just carry a USB pen or a laptop, but rather than carrying vinyl. I've always loved vinyl. I've got quite a collection around me at the moment, of old and new. So, but I look forward to sort of picking your guys one up on one of the colours. I'm gonna have to pick which one and pre-order it. So, but that's cool.
Yeah, I don't think you would be walking to the tube with a turntable,
No, definitely not.
I'm guilty of before we had the streaming platforms, I already started buying albums on iTunes because it was so convenient.
Yes.
Having it on my phone, on my computer. Yeah. And I have actually myself quite small CD collection. And I used to have a huge DVD collection, and my son was born, and I had to put them in those 500 DVD files.
Yep.
It's a little bit funny. It's contradictions in a way. The movie and the music industry is changing, but then again, we're going back to the past with the LPs.
Yeah.
So it's funny, but I'm happy because that's for the music lovers out there. It's still the best quality actually to listen to the songs like that.
It is. Strangely, it is the best quality, which I love. I've always maintained that is the case, but a lot of people don't agree. But it actually is because it's mastered at a high level and everything. Anyway, we're getting into technicalities now, which is fine. But,
yes.
I've got a couple of questions left for you, if that's all right. I'm going to let you obviously get on with the rest of your day and everything. But what I want to find out, what are the sort of, like, if you could, like, name them, the 3 albums that really kind of, like, were pinnacle for you? So the one that made you want to sing, for instance, or if you have a particular album that really got you into kind of, like, the sort of rock side of music or anything like that.
Well, I was, I think, around 11, 12 when I started to get into rock music. And then I'm talking about grunge, bands like, of course, Nirvana.
Yeah.
I love Radiohead. I love Live.
Yep.
I think his name is Ed, the singer. I hear him sing, Can You Hear the Dolphins Cry? That's like a flashback I have now from him. My best friend back then, she was into grunge. So I loved being not like one of the normal girls. I was always a little bit weird and I was proud of that. But of course, when I was a little girl, I loved the Spice Girls too. And my sister and I, we had this imaginary girl band. And I actually wrote my first lyric in English when I was just a child. And I had to ask my mom if my English was correct. And the song was called like, Don't Be Afraid. So I was always into music, and I love Disney movies and the princesses singing. So I guess that would have been the initiator for me. And then my first boyfriend, he was a metalhead, and he got me into black metal, like Old Man's Child, Mystic Circle, of course, Dimmu and Cradle. So Cruelty and the Beast, I loved, and I also loved that they used female vocals.
Yeah.
The Sarah Jezebel Deva was her name. They're a British band, and we played with them also on festivals, and the funny thing is that they have now this makeup palette released, and I have a beauty blog since 10 years, and they send me their makeup palette, and that's so funny. That's the two worlds which actually are intertwined.
Yeah.
But the start of my metal career, I was into black metal, and I started my beauty blog, and then one of my first metal bands creates a makeup that they send me. It's mad. It's funny. It's funny. Yeah. It's how many full circles I've reached in my life already. So I would say Cradle of Filth, Cruelty and the Beast, and then Nightwish. A friend of my first boyfriend thought I might like Nightwish, so he gave me a CD. Yeah. And I was already listening to Tristania. I also loved the classical singing with the choirs, and so Tristania, something with the veil. I don't know how it's called. There's a woman lying on a lot of rocks in the water. And Angels Fall First from Nightwish. Those are some of my favorite albums. I have many more, but I can't reach them in my mind palace.
That's all right. I only wanted 3, so it's all good. That's really cool. So from Disney to Cradle of Filth to Nightwish. So that's amazing. I love that journey. That's fantastic. Finally, what hobbies do you have away from music? So when you're not doing anything Epica related or anything like that, or you mentioned your makeup blog, but what sort of hobbies do you have?
At the moment, it's sleep if I can,
That's a good one.
Drinking red wine, but I've toned it down to the bare minimum. It was getting out of hand. A hobby of mine has been photography, but that's kind of a side business since some years now. I mean, my work is also my hobby, so it's like everything is connected. I still love makeup, I still love photography, but it's now part of my job. I love baking. Cool. The thing is, everything that I can create. Yeah. So I have the feeling of being useful at the end of the day. It can also just be a simple cake.
Yeah.
But if I fail at doing that, I feel miserable for a long time. I mean, for Christmas, I tried to make something else. My husband was craving like a traditional meal we make at my parents, and I asked my dad for the recipe, and the perfectionist within me was so disappointed that I failed because the meat was too, tough.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, this is dry. You got to chew for an hour. And my husband was like, no, it's nice. It's a little bit like something else. But my mood was ruined. I hate to fail at things. Maybe I have a, how do you say, failure complex.
Yeah.
But I love to cook and I love to bake, and yoga is also one of my hobbies.
Fantastic.
That's something that's really been a nice addition to the normal workouts that I do.
Yeah.
But we've all gotten a little lazy, I have to say, and sometimes unmotivated on some days. So
yes, it has highlighted that side of things. I mean, for me, I took up yoga end of last year, and it's helped me because I was seriously kind of I mean, I'm a big guy as it is, so like not moving at all was a complete shock to the system when I got up and actually had to move. So I took up yoga to get the kind of flexibility back and like get that, like to have that moment away from everything as well, and kind of like center everything. So yeah, fantastic. And I love to cook and stuff as well, so that's great. And if I mess up cooking, I'm in a mood for days. So it's all good. But Simone, I'm going to let you go because I know you've probably got a few more of these to do. So I want to thank you for your time. I really do appreciate it. Good luck with the album. And hopefully I'll be seeing you guys in 2022 with your tour with Apocalyptica as well.
Yes,
which would be
excited for that.
Yeah, no, that'd be amazing. So I'm looking forward to that. And have a fantastic rest of your day.
Thank you so much. You too. And good luck for your daughter's exam. Wish her good luck from me.
I will do. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Take care.